We are at Bethlehem, belongs to the Palestinian Authority, and we are very close to the Church of the Nativity, the place that Jesus was born. Today I'm not guiding the family. Martin, a Palestinian tour guide, is doing it. But look at the Christmas tree here. The most famous Christmas tree in the Christmas city. The sun is in our eyes. But where's Martin? Oh, he's waiting for us there. Oh. Martin, I'm going to see what's happening there. Great. The Church of the Nativity is an old church. Actually, it's the oldest functioning church in the world. It's divided into three denominations. This is the Armenian part. In front of you, it's the Greek Orthodox, and to the left is the Catholic part. The entrance, you can see three gates. The upper one is from 6th century, the middle one 12th century, and 19th century is the Ottoman. Sadly, people used to enter with horses and use it as a market area. Ooh. The church is empty. How are you? It's so good to see you. It's empty. All right. Then, now when I know it's empty, I'm going out to tell it to Martin, but look how beautiful is the wooden door, Armenian. And this is the narthex of the church. And there's a police station here as well. But I'm going to call Martin. Guys, I thought it's going to be a lucky day. The church is so crowded.
No,
there's no one there. Let's go first, if it's okay by you,
yes,
to the grotto, and then
we start with the grotto first, so it's going to be easiest way to see that before the procession.
This is Martin.
There's the procession, and then we're gonna talk about the whole history of that church. But in the meanwhile, we're talking about this door. This is the humble door and the main entrance to get through.
Now, he is actually telling the policeman how many we are, where are we from, and which shop actually we used. Remember, it's by law.
So friends, we can see this is the humble door, the door of humility and respect that makes everybody is bending down, respecting the birthplace of Jesus, and that's the idea of producing for that little humble door. While in the beginning, 540, it used to be that main entrance, that it's marked, as you can see it in the top, look there. It's a huge one that used to be like a huge one, it wasn't able to protect the church. They used to put like horses and camels indoor there.
The church been destroyed only once. And here, I don't know if you will be able to see, there's another gate. You can see the gate from the 6th century. It's been destroyed only once by the Samaritan. Then this is the oldest functioning church ever.
We're getting inside. Watch your head and don't destroy our history. We still need that door.
Watch your head. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you know what? Let me help you with that.
This is the entrance and that's of the church. And I'd like to tell you about this door because it's not a busy day, like we're not pushing by anyone here. Basically, this wooden door is the oldest wooden door, like in the city of Bethlehem. It's a donation from King Khatun for 1227. Basically, it's the oldest wooden wood here. You can see it's hand-carved, and it's mentioned in both languages who donated and the year of donation. Through this, we're getting into the main basilica, and through that little door now, through this.
Are we going first to the?
So we're getting first to the cave of birth. So I'd like you to follow me, so we can get down there.
That's following Martin. We are going first to the grotto. We will take pictures later on. First, go with him to the grotto. Follow Martin. We are going to the grotto. We are lucky today. Follow Martin. We're going straight to the grotto. We will take pictures later on. Guys, because we are lucky, let's first go to the grotto and then we will take pictures.
Okay.
All right, then follow Martin. Please don't take pictures. Go and follow Martin. Now, we are entering to the grotto from the Greek Orthodox part. And everything that you see is from the Greek Orthodox style. I will talk about it later on, but first we are going to the grotto to see where Jesus was born. There are two grottos here. One belongs to the Greek Orthodox, the other one belongs to the Catholic. We will go now to the most well-known one, and this is the Greek Orthodox part.
Before we get down, I'd like to tell you what we're going to see down to the cave. So please, we can make it like similar art. These are 18 all to hear us.
And if it's okay by you, I was talking about Mary.
We're going to explain about the
Okay.
whole thing, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, friends. So I've been explaining about first the cave of birth. Because in your imagination it goes for a wooden stable, but in fact it's a cave that used to be as a stable. 2,000 years ago, people were using that kind of caves because they were humble. So that's why it used to be that little cave. And it used to be as a stable. When they came here, they couldn't find a normal house or stay until they found that. So basically, that's why they built the church over the cave of birth. We're getting like 14 steps down. We're going to see two main things inside it. The first of all is the Star of Bethlehem, the 14-point star. Remember the 14-point star? We're getting down. When we reach that, we're going to see that there's a silver star laid on the floor. It's marked by Queen Helena as the birthplace of Jesus. You can kneel down, touch it for a blessing, and you can take your photo. For some people that like to bless their things, you can put it over for your blessing if you'd like to have that kind of.
Let me add it. If you bought something and you brought it here and it's a Christian item, bless it there. This is going to be a relic after that. If you bought a cross, it will be more than that. Sorry, Martin.
Yeah, we're good. So basically, that's the main things that you're gonna see. In the opposite side of that, there's the place of the Holy Manger where Jesus lay down after his birth, and that's basically the place where he slept over after the birth of Jesus. So that's the crib. That's the place of the manger. So three main steps lead us to that part. As we get in there, I'll remind you with this. Before we get down there, we can see this holy icon. It's called the Lady of Bethlehem. And in Jerusalem, there is one more, I believe, that you're going to see with Zahi. And he's going to explain for you about the difference in here. Here we can see the Lady of Bethlehem. She's smiling, having her son in the city of Bethlehem. And that's an impression of her face. And that's why we call her the Lady of Bethlehem. When you go to Jerusalem, you're going to see the same thing like that. She's sad, crying. Because that used to be the first time when she lost her son. For the first time, and for sure in the city of Jerusalem, he was crucified. So that's the second thing about that kind of icons that you get it over here. So now we're getting down there.
Let me be the first one, then I will take a video of you.
Okay, friends?
We are so lucky today.
Yeah, super. Just a few days ago, by the way, it used to be packed.
I know, and people were mad at me. That's why I think I mentioned that I don't know what will happen in the church. But we are lucky. Oh, you can go. I want to be one of the first ones that to take a video of yours.
The Star of Bethlehem, the Stella. This is the place of Navidad.
Then we are now entering to the grotto. I know that so many of you didn't understand the idea that a cave can be a grotto. But in Israel at ancient time, and I must say that the no man land, the Bedouins are still using caves. It's very warm in wintertime, it's cold in summertime, and it doesn't cost money. Then I'm sure that there were houses on top of it. Look how beautiful is the marble. And the capitals. Short line, which I'm so happy. Until we will reach there, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. I do have almost 20,000 videos on my YouTube channel. Then to the right you will see the Star of the Nativity, according to 4th century. That is the exact spot of the birth of Jesus. And to the left, that's a Catholic altar of the manger. That's where they fed him, changed his diaper or whatever. And now we're going to see both of those places.
They place it right there, and then Mass is being said every
That's the Nativity Grotto. Grotto of the Nativity. And oh, that's where Jesus was born. And the manger is right to your left side.
on the side over here, and that's where the manger. It's still part of that. The other side
Is it a window?
No, it's not a window. That's the mark. It's a, yeah, go and touch it. If you're a Christian, please.
Make it one by one.
How many times are you going to be here?
And that's the birthplace of Jesus. It's a 14-point star. You can see it's marked here. You can kneel down, touch it.
Guys,
Feel free
please
to put your
touch
hand
it.
on the blessing.
You don't need to believe. Touch it. The energy is there. All the churches believe that this is the birthplace of it. Then why not to believe in it?
And then be sure that you are going to see the place of the Holy Manger is down there.
Have you been there? See how beautiful is that cave. I want you to go back to the time of Jesus, to the birth of it. And we came, I mean, their family came from the shepherd field, just like the shepherds that been told by the angel, go and look for him. And here you can see the three kings. Fimages. Manger. Yes. Did you visit the manger as well? That's the exact spot of his birth. But then they fed him there. Yeah. That one belongs to the Greek Orthodox. That one belongs to
Birthplace
the
of Bethlehem, that's marked as the birthplace of Jesus. Down there is the place of the Holy Manger where Jesus lay down after his birth. So
And
that's
this is
according to
marked.
our Christian tradition. That's marked by Queen Mary. So friends,
Yes, yes, yes. Especially when there's not a lot of people here.
kind of like our lucky day.
We are in lucky day. I was really afraid of it.
This without a pack like that.
Yeah. Oops. Family, if you're
So friends,
over,
those who finished, please, you can follow me up there.
if you visited those two places, then climb up. We're going out from the grotto straight to the Armenian chapel. And the first thing that you will see in the Armenian is Handal. Where's Martin? Here. Martin, we are so lucky. You are now at the Armenian quarter chapel, but we are going to see the second grotto.
Oh, okay.
At the Catholic side. To the grotto. We are lucky to see the of grottos. Every Christmas Mass, you can actually see the service from here. Then you saw the Greek Orthodox part. Let's enter to the Catholic part. It used to be one cave, but suddenly they started to argue who owns what. Then they decided to cut it by building a wall.
When the angel of God appeared for them to fight about to move on from here because Herod is going to put all the kids under 2 years old. So that's the point where we believe, according to our Christian tradition, that they decide to fly to Egypt. So that's why it's called this altar, St. Joseph altar. And back then, considered to be like one single cave. As you can see, they built up that part of him to split the birthplace somehow, to have like that kind of spot to remember the birth of Jesus. So the first Christians here, they used to practice, they used to hide here and live in their like memorial of the first Christians and some sands that they used to live here in the city of Bethlehem, practicing in this part. From this section, we can see how so clear for us how the caves look like. Because in the other parts, it looked like a church somehow, with the decoration, candles and altar, and you'll never find like it's a real cave. But here, you can see it's looked like a cave, a real cave, and that's how that cave used to be about 2,000 years ago. And also they built up the church over it, which is basically by the time of Trinity. Soon we're going to explain, by the way, the whole history of this church. We rush here before it gets closed. One more cave that's connected to the cave of birth is into your left side down there, and that's the cave of Saint Jerome. And he's the one who translated the Bible from Hebrew and Greek into Latin. We call it the Vulgate or the Vulgata. And he spent about 34 years underneath, next to the birthplace of Jesus, doing these kind of translations until he died. And later on, when they discovered that he's a saint, they moved his body back to his hometown to Rome. So that's the cave of Saint Jerome, which is a very common cave and very common saint that I believe most of us learn about translating the Bible. So that's according to this one. I'll let you a free couple of minutes to take more photos, but before that, we'd like to tell you about the upper church because we're not allowed to explain there. It's a Roman Catholic church, and basically it's my home parish. It was built in 1881. It's called St. Catherine Church, or the Church of St. Catherine of Alexandria, and that's a place where we celebrate our midnight mass in Christmas, the 24th of December, and we live broadcast it all over the world. It's a very active church. Sunday we have our mass, like 2 masses in the morning. We still use that for even our local activities, like weddings, baptisms, communion, funerals, everything that goes over there. So that's part of a very active church. Okay, friends, so
Wait,
please take your photo.
Question.
Yeah, sure.
Did he talk about what's actually is in the other side of
Yes,
the?
sure.
Oh.
I told them on the other side we have the actual spot, which is basically the start.
Then we came from there.
We just came by that. So basically the steps is just here, the steps. And that's the left app. So remember, when we exit the cave, we used to be into the left app of that church, and then we exit and we get into the Catholic, and then we get back again underneath here. So here over us, over this place, is the Armenian altar, which is by the exit of that cave. Soon we're getting back into the old basilica. We're going to explain the whole thing, how this church is divided, and according to that long history, because it's like kind of long story to talk about. Okay, friends, if you have any questions, please feel free to tell me about anything you think about, or even to ask anything you'd like to know. Okay, friends?
Where's going to be our meeting place?
We can meet here.
In about 2-3 minutes?
2 minutes.
All right.
They take your photos, and then we go once together up to the Catholic Church. Otherwise, they will look us be locked down.
If we will enter, if you will go all the way here, you will see a door. If you will open the door, you will reach the grotto of the Nativity, the star. No, you cannot see anything from here, but now you know where you are. We are lucky that we could visit those two places. It's not happens every time. I mean, that video is different than so many of my Bethlehem videos. Did you visit it?
Have you seen the cave of St. Jerome?
St. Jerome, yes.
Not there though.
No, it's not. It's is actually tomb is in Italy now. Go and see it. And St. Jerome, that used to be the tomb of him, but the Crusader took the bones of him back to Rome. Then you can actually visit the tomb of him in Rome. There's a ceremony in the room there that we cannot enter. But again, the real tomb is in Rome now. And the innocent tomb of the innocent is here. Martin, if the door is open, it means that. I wanted to say, if the door is open, can I go in?
I cannot.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. And you can see more of the tombs of the innocent right here. And again, if you didn't hear it, that's where the angel told Joseph, run away, go to Egypt. He's looking for you. We're back at Santa Caterina. I love this place.
What year was this built?
It's the 19th century. It's a perfect day.
This is the main entrance to the Catholic Church. It's called the courtyard of Saint Jerome, according to the statue of Saint Hieronymus or Saint Jerome, the one who translated the Bible in the middle, that we've been visiting his cave just before a while. So that's according to this part, and that's how it's named, according to his name and according to this statue here. Now I'd like to get back to the old basilica, so we're gonna start explaining the whole history of the Church of Nativity. So
I must say something. You came from the Grand Beach, and you gave me the energy, the good energy today, and I felt that something good is going to happen. This is one of my few times that I entered to both grottos at the same time, at the same day. We are lucky. Yeah, all right, now we can do that. Yeah. Now let's go again. Watch your head when you are. Yeah, something good actually happened to us today. Then we're going back to the Greek Orthodox part that you saw, the ancient part of the church. Yeah. Watch your head, please. Please watch your head. Then we are back at the ancient part of the church. I'm talking about the 6th century church. Remember, it's been destroyed only once.
Your friends, come over here, please. We're talking about the Church of Nativity, and we've been visiting the Cave of Birth. And then the previous church was built over the Cave of Birth. In 325 AD, Queen Helena, the mother of Emperor Constantine, she built up the first octagonal church that was surrounded the cave of birth. So we already know where it is. Basically, the previous one, it used to be just surrounded like the main altar over here. It used to be a little bit smaller than the existing one. But that church was completely destroyed somehow by Samaritans around 529 AD, probably according to the revolt, was destroyed, covered a little bit with dust. Most of the thing used to be like disappeared over here, covered up with dust. Until another emperor came here called Justinianus or Justinian, and he built up the existing church in 540 AD. From 540 till today, no one destroyed it. And that's why we're talking about the oldest active church in the Holy Land, not like any other churches in the Holy Land that's been destroyed, even the Holy Sepulchre. 612, around 612 to 614, Persians, they attacked the Holy Land with a huge revolt and they destroyed every single church. Reaching the Church of Nativity, they didn't touch it. It used to be protected for some reason, and no one touched this church. Why do you think Persians, they didn't destroy it? Any idea? According to the three wise men, one of the wise men is a Persian. So Persians, when they came into the Holy Land, and especially in the city of Bethlehem, they have seen at the top of this church a mosaics that show us the three wise men, which is not existing anymore. They recognized their king, and according to that, probably they left it. They thought it's something belonged to them. You know, they didn't believe in God back then, and that's why they left it as it is. So they were confused why it's here, and they knew that it's a church. So they left it, and were lucky to have the oldest part. Many things used to be remodeled by time. So if you look into a few things that's happening here, especially at the Crusader time, 1169, we're going to see the gold-plated mosaics that return back to 1169 AD, and that's part of that kind of remodeling this church. Back then it used to be for the whole wall over here, and even in the back side of that wall it used to be the tree of generation, and into the left part was full of mosaics. And only about 5 years ago we discovered that it's a gold-plated, by the way. Before that, we're talking about a very dark mosaics, because the church were using oil lamps, they were using fire, incense, knives. We're talking about 900 years, about 8 to 900 years, so it used to be smoke covered up with this. Even the pillars, we have 44 Corinthian pillars that's holding this church. 20 of these pillars got iconic paints, which is, by the way, wax paint that returned back to the Crusader time, which is around the same time, around 1169. You can see for some sands working, we're supporting the Church of Nativity, and that's still existing in a very good condition. So imagine these pillars used to be like covered with smoke. They recovered that, they cleaned it up, and they noticed that there's a few more graffitis that you're gonna see it over there, which is nowadays part of history. That's why they didn't clean it up. Okay? So what happened after that? They continued down to the main floor. By the way, the main floor, all the wooden panel is open, so we're gonna see part of it here. If you join me in this part, again, we're going to see part of the original mosaics here. Sorry. So this is the main floor that returned back to Queen Helena, and that used to be the main level back then. When the church destroyed was covered with dust, they raised up the floor and they built up the second church, so that's why they didn't even excavate it back then. By chance we discovered this around 1938 when a small earthquake hit the city of Bethlehem. With some cracks in the floor, they noticed that there's something underneath. They start excavating the floor. Until then, a couple of square meters here, there, and they recover part of it. So it used to be, for those who had the chance or Google some old photos, it used to be like open couple of square meters here, in the middle there, and in the left app there, and that's it. So Italians, they came here in a very huge project.
Wait. The Italians.
Italians. We got some Italian with us. Yeah.
Tell him that. All right. Tell him that story. It's important for me.
Yes. 2013, they came in a very huge project here. Starts renovating and fixing the roof. Existing roof, it's a donation from King Edward IV. He donated to the church, and by the way, it's a cedar wood from Lebanon. They fixed that, continue recovering that kind of mosaics. They cleaned it up, they recovered the gold plated. They discovered the last angel here. It was painted with white. They continued down to the pillars and then to the floor as the last phase over here, and they recovered the main floor. You can see the way how they carved. It looked like a carpet. Very unique, nice. And by the way, this project cost around 5 million euros.
It's perfect.
Which is
Why Italians?
good thing. I have no idea. It's according to the project, basically. And
No,
according to
finance
the
it.
company funds by that, and even the company who has the experience to do these kind of things. Because when we're talking about the Church of Nativity, we're talking about one of the oldest, and you have to give it for some experienced people to do these kind of things. Okay.
And
now
who
I
were
will
the
show you
experienced
more
one?
thing.
The Italian.
Italian, because they have patience. I know we don't
It's
trust
not
Italian with
because
time,
they know what to do. I mean, that's what they have in Rome.
but they're doing
They're
good
patient.
things. Come on.
No, what he wanted to say that they did it slowly.
They did slowly. They have a good patience.
Yeah, but excellent.
I'll tell you one more thing. When this project happened in 2013, they thought it's going to be finished in 2016. That's how they put outside, in the side. And then they take out the 16, they put 17, and then 18, and then 19 wasn't done yet. So 2020 it was COVID. They say COVID 2 years, and then they open it 21, they done it. So that used to be, but it's one of the best projects that it's happened in Bethlehem because they make this church alive. So Zahi been here before, and he know how this church used to be dark, and we can see how it's old, but it's look like not valuable as now.
No, this
Now
is
we
the
can
it's
see
a huge
old and-
difference.
and still existing. You know, they keep it like a touch of life.
You can watch my videos of the church at 2018, even before.
It's so clear how it used to be. Two dark pillars, dark, everything was dark. Not renovating, not shiny, not gold-plated shiny, and a lot of things. Yeah?
That tile is like 1 meter straight.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
The tile.
This one is like this. It's a very small, tiny.
Yeah, but I can't believe how-
He's again here. I don't want to keep you on hold, but I'd like to give you like the right things around here.
Please do
about
that.
These kind of information around here. Friends, the Church of Nativity, as I mentioned earlier in the verse, that it's an active church in the Holy Land, and basically it's divided in between the three main denominations in the city of Bethlehem. In the middle, we can see the iconostas, or the iconostasius. It's the holy altar of the Greek Orthodox, which is an indoor altar, basically it's the holder of the icons. That's according to the Greek word, right? So that's the meaning of that. It's including a lot of icons because back then icons was considered to be like a language. And it's kind of way of the Orthodox to present or teaching, and even in their masses. So basically it's an indoor, the main or the Holy of the Holiest is exactly indoor, which is only the priest or head priest or archbishop can get inside there, which is there's the communion. That's according to this part. So Sunday we're not allowed to be here before they finish their mass, which is take place over this place here. And that's the way how it is in this part. The second part of this is into the left out there by the exit of that cave. This is the Armenian section, why we pass by through the exit. And the Armenians are the smallest denomination in here. They came here by the time of Ottomans after they've been persecuted by the Turkish. So basically they hide it because it's part of the birthplace in the Holy Land, and they take the lead over here. So that's the left after. And the church next door, we used to be just before a while, that's a Roman Catholic church. The three are sharing the same cave, the cave of birth. According to that, there's something called status quo around 1778, and that's a place where it's like agreement in between them, like each and every one got their time, place to pray inside the cave of birth, share the rites, let's say, and that's what make it organized in between them. And if you come here early morning until 10 o'clock, no one's allowed to get into the cave of birth because it's closed for processions. Closed for like little prayers. 12 o'clock it will be closed soon. In 10 minutes there's a
Less than
procession
10 minutes.
from the Catholic part. They're gonna walk like monks and priests over the way, using the exit down to the cave and getting back to the other tunnel, getting through the cave where we used to be in before a while. And that's the other part in there. Marhaba, kifa. So basically that's in this section, and also the Armenian that's happening over here. During the day also it starts like 12 o'clock and then 2 o'clock and then 3 o'clock. So it's organized in between them all. Every day is the same thing, okay? One last thing I'd like to add about the oldest baptism font in Bethlehem City. So let's see this before leaving the... Friends, when we're looking here is just the oldest baptism font in Bethlehem, and as I've been here as a local, I consider to have this as the oldest one since they cleaned it up. So basically, we're talking about the octagonal one, and by the way, it used to be located outside this church because we're not allowed back then to get into the church before we get into Christianity. That means you have to be baptized before we get
And
into
then
the
to
church.
go into the church.
That's exactly what's happened. So for some reason, they put it in here, and it sounds like they put the existing one inside it, and it was full of dust. No one is using that because it sounds like it needs lots of water over here. So that's why it used to be like no one's using this. Until then, with that kind of project, they start to fix these kind of cracks. So they take it like part of it as a part, and then cleaning up, they recovered the inner one that returned back to 325, which is the oldest.
Again, what year?
325.
Really?
Which is basically the oldest baptism font in here.
I think in the
For some
world.
reason, sounds they put each one inside, and that's why they're not using that. So this is from 325, this is from 540, we're talking about. And if you notice one more thing, by the way, this is rose limestone, similar to the color of these kind of pillars, because this is local stone from that lime city. Okay, friends, that's according to this baptism font, and we're lucky to have it in a very good condition.
It's 5 minutes to 12, and the Catholic procession will begin soon. And I want to, Martin is taking us to see the procession that will enter to the grotto that we just visited. And remember the door, they will go out from the door, straight to the Catholic grotto. Let's go in. Guys, stick to here. Try to be as close as you can to here because the procession will be there.
You want to sit here, don't cross your legs. Regular sitting. Okay. And so
The procession will begin. You can see beautiful. I can see now the bells. Doubting Thomas and the ascension of Jesus.
you can hear the bell right now, and soon they're gonna start. So you're gonna stand there. So you can see.
When they will come, should we stand? I
Yes,
think it's better.
friends,
Let's stand.
as the expecting this, stand up.
And usually they don't like that. I'm taking a video of them. They let me stand here. Let me hide myself. There's always one of the Franciscans. Let me see. Then they will enter through the Catholic Santa Caterina Chapel to the Armenian. They will enter through the exit in a way. And as you remember, there's a door down there. They will go out through that door back to the Catholic. Yes. Can we hear them? And the policemen here standing on the path here because the Catholic cannot go through here. They must go through there according to the status quo. And they are showing them the exact path. That happens every day at 12 o'clock, and I'm so happy to be with you here. I wanted you to see it too. Let's continue, family. And you will see that the church is closed now. That is the Santa Catarina Church. Now it's closed because of the procession for another 2 hours now. Yeah. Guys, you can see that the Church of Santa Catarina is closed now until 2 o'clock. It's so beautiful. Look at the blue sky. Family to here, please. I'm sorry.
Friends, here is the statue of St. George slaying the dragon. He is the patron saint of England, Georgia, Armenia, and Estonia. For us, he is the protector and the savior. And by the way, St. George lived around 252 AD when the Roman Emperor asked him to kill Christians and he refused. For that reason, he was killed twice as punishment. And according to miracle, Jesus came back to life. That's why we as Christians believe as he's the protector and the savior. This is the statue of St. George since 1926 over here. It's a donation from local Christian family. They put it in this part. And by the way, the monastery of St. George is not in Bethlehem. It's in a city called Blood, which is in a way from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem.
So
I believe that he told you about that, but they should be sleepy maybe.
No, I didn't let them.
So that's basically his story over here. And one more thing about the city of Bethlehem, as I'm having fun about this, sometimes we call it as the city of George. It's a very common name to have George here. So Sunday, if you come here, you call George, maybe half of the church will look at you. It's a very common name to have George. It's very famous.
All right, then, let's go out.
Yeah.
I'm starving.
So we're stopping for lunch.
Look at the sunny, amazing day, almost mid of January.
That's fabulous.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. You see that? Yeah.
So lucky.
We are. Tomorrow it's not going to be like that. Palestinian license number, the white with P for Palestine. Again, you can see the Christmas tree. Let me count everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Everyone are here. Yay! Now, if you like that video, it's only 45 minutes, but you saw everything of the Church of the Nativity, then subscribe my channel. Send it to everyone. And if you want a guide beside me, remember Martin telephone number will be at at the description of that video.
Oh yeah. Sort of. All the way here, friends.
And let's say goodbye to the Church of the Nativity. Thank you very much for being with me.